Hello friends, welcome to C Programming Video Tutorials series. From the past few video tutorials, we are trying to understand arrays in C. In this video tutorial, I would like to discuss how to write a C program to read, store and print one-dimensional array in C. We understand how do we read values from the user and store them inside a one-dimensional array, and understand how to display values inside one-dimensional array, guys. Let's have a demo and understand everything clearly step by step. I minimize the word. I double click on CodeBlocks icon to launch the CodeBlocks IDE. You can see that CodeBlocks IDE is launched. I'm going to create one new project. I say File, New Project. I select here projects, say Console Application, say Go. Then I say Next. I select C language, I say Next. Then I give the project name Read and Print 1D Array Demo. I say Next, say Finish. You can see that Read and Print 1D Array Demo project is created. I click on the plus sign, I double click on main.c to open. You can see that main.c file is open. I'm going to delete this line of code which is not necessary. I delete this line of code which is not necessary. In the previous video tutorials, we understood how do we declare and initialize a one-dimensional array. How do we declare and initialize a one-dimensional array, guys? We write the data type, then we write the array name. In pair of square brackets, we write the size of the array, which indicates numbers is a one-dimensional array. I am using only one subscript, so numbers is a one-dimensional array which can hold 5 integer values. Then we say equal to, in pair of flower brackets, we write set of values separated by comma. I say here 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I am initializing the numbers array with zeros, guys, right? What happens when this code is executed? Of course, computer goes to its memory. It allocates a memory block containing 5 memory locations: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We know that arrays follow zero based indexing. So first memory location is going to have the index 0. Next memory location is going to have the index 1. Next memory location is going to have the index 2. Next memory location is going to have the index 3. Next memory location is going to have the index 4. And we know that each memory location is going to have some address. Let's assume first memory location has the address hash 20. We know that integers allocate 4 bytes of memory location. So next memory location is going to have the address hash 24. Next memory location is going to have the address hash 28. Next memory location is going to have the address hash 32. Next memory location is going to have the address hash 36. And each memory location is initialized with the value 0. In the first memory location it puts 0, in the next 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 memory location it puts 0. That is our numbers array, guys. And numbers is implicitly a pointer, right, to the first element in the array. That's what happens when this line of code is executed, guys. Next what we do, we say printf, in double quotations we say enter 5 integer values, colon, /n, semicolon. If I say build and run, user finds a message saying enter 5 integer values. Once user finds this message, enter 5 integer values, what he or she does, guys? He or she start entering the 5 integer values, right, guys? I close it. We should read those 5 integer values and store them inside the numbers array, right? At present numbers array is initialized with zeros. So we have to store the user entered values inside this numbers array. As user enters 5 integer values, we can loop through and read and store them, guys. So what I do, I'm going to create one variable called as I, initialized with the value 0. Then I say here for I equal to 0. I am initializing the I value with 0 because you can see that the first memory location has the index 0. That's the reason I am saying here I equal to 0. Then I say I less than 5. Total elements we have 5. That's the reason I am saying here I less than 5. Less than 5 means what? 4. You can see that the last element in the array has the index 4, which is less than 5. That's the reason I'm saying here I less than 5. As long as the I value is less than 5, it should execute body of the for loop. Right guys? On every iteration of the for loop, I value should be incremented by 1. So I say here I plus plus. Because initially the I value is 0, next it should become 1, next it should become 2, next it should become 3, next it should become 4. When I value becomes 5, 5 less than 5 is false because 5 is equal to 5. As this condition evaluates to false, the loop is terminated. Here inside this for loop, we write scanf. In double quotations, I say %d. What scanf does? It waits for an integer value. It reads the given integer value, stores inside a given address, guys. So here I say ampersand numbers of I, semicolon. If you just say numbers of I, it indicates the value of numbers of I. If I say ampersand, it indicates address of numbers of I. We are giving here address, guys. Here the I value is changing from 0 to 5, right? So first value is stored in numbers of 0, next value is stored in numbers of 1, next value is stored in numbers of 2, next value is stored in numbers of 3, next value is stored in numbers of 4. When I value becomes 5, 5 less than 5 is false, the loop is terminated, guys. Let me explain what happens when this code is executed. I'm going to copy this code, I go to MS Paint and I paste that code here. Let me explain what happens when this code is executed step by step, guys. When control hits to this line, what happens? We know that it allocates 4 bytes of memory location. To that memory location, it gives the name I, puts the initial value inside it 0. Let's assume its address is hash 40, guys. Next, printf statement is executed. What printf statement does? It displays enter 5 integer values and /n moves the cursor to the next line. Understanding? That's what happens. And then control moves forward. When control hits to the for loop, what it does? It executes initialization statements first, I equal to 0. So I will be reinitialized back to 0, guys. Then control goes to condition part of the for loop. It checks the condition whether I is less than 5. I is 0, 0 less than 5 is true. As this condition evaluates to true, it executes the body of the for loop. Control comes inside. What scanf does? It waits for an integer value, %d. Let's assume user enters the value 1, guys. Okay, user has entered the value 1. It reads that integer value, stores inside the given address of numbers of I. What is I? I is 0. What is address of numbers of 0? Address of numbers of 0 is hash 20. It stores the value inside hash 20 memory location. So hash 20 memory location is assigned with the value 1, guys. Right? After executing all the statements in the body of the for loop, control goes to increment or decrement part, I plus plus. I variable value is incremented by 1. It is 0, it becomes 1, guys. Then it goes to condition part, checks the condition whether I is less than 5. I is what? I is 1. 1 less than 5 is true. As this condition evaluates to true, it executes the body of the for loop again. Control comes inside. Scanf is waiting for an integer value. So what happens here? User enters 2. And 2 is stored inside address of numbers of I. What is I? I is 1. Address of numbers of 1. Address of numbers of 1 is hash 24. Hash 24, guys. I say here hash 24. It reads this 2 value, stores inside the address hash 24. So hash 24 current value is removed. It stores 2 inside it. After executing all the statements in the body of the for loop, control goes to increment or decrement part. I plus plus is executed. I variable value is incremented by 1. It is 1, it becomes 2, guys. Then it goes to condition part, checks the condition whether I is less than 5. I is 2, 2 less than 5 is true. As this condition evaluates to true, it executes the body of the for loop. Control comes inside. Scanf is waiting for an integer value. Let's take user enters 3, guys. What scanf does? It reads that 3 and puts inside the address of numbers of I. I is what? 2. Address of numbers of 2 is hash 28. Numbers of 2 has the address hash 28. So here we will be having the address hash 28 guys. In the hash 28 it puts the value 3 guys. So 0 is removed, 3 is placed. After executing all the statements in the body of the for loop, control goes to increment or decrement part I++. I variable value is incremented by 1. It is 2, it becomes 3 guys. Then it goes to condition part, checks the condition whether I is less than 5. I is 3, 3 less than 5 is true. As this condition evaluates to true, it executes the body of the for loop again. Control comes inside. Scanf is waiting for an integer value. Let's take user enters the value 4. It reads that value and stores inside address of numbers of I. And what is I? I is 3 guys. And what is address of numbers of 3? Address of numbers of 3 is hash 32. So this place is replaced by hash 32 guys. Value hash 32. It reads 4 and puts inside the memory location which has the address hash 32. So 0 is removed from here and 4 is stored here. After executing all the statements in the body of the for loop, control goes to increment or decrement part I++ is executed. I is 3, it is going to be incremented by 1. It becomes 4 guys. Then it goes to condition part, checks the condition whether I is less than 5. I is 4, 4 less than 5 is true. As this condition evaluates to true, it executes the body of the for loop once again. Scanf is waiting for an integer value. Let's assume user enters 5. It puts that 5 in the address of numbers of I. What is I? I is 4. I is 4 guys. And what is address of numbers of 4? Address of numbers of 4 is hash 36. So this place is replaced by hash 36 guys, hash 36. It reads this 5 and stores inside hash 36 memory location. So 0 will be removed from here and it puts 5 here. After executing all the statements in the body of the for loop, control goes to I++. I variable value is incremented by 1, it becomes 5 guys. Then it goes to condition part, checks the condition whether I is less than 5. I is 5, 5 less than 5 is false. 5 less than 5 is false because 5 is equal to 5. As this condition evaluates to false, the for loop is terminated and any below statements are executed. You can see that we read the value and stored inside one dimensional array guys. I hope you guys have clearly understood. Let me delete this content from here. Next what we do, we display values inside the numbers array. Understanding? I go back here. What I do, I say here printf, in double quotations I say numbers array is colon /n semicolon. Again I am going to use the for loop guys. I say here for I is equal to 0. I am initializing the I value with 0 because the first memory location has the index 0 guys, right? And then I say I less than 5. As long as the I value is less than 5, it should execute the body of the for loop. Less than 5 means 4. You can see that the last element in the array has the index 4 which is less than 5. On every iteration of the for loop, I value should be incremented by 1. So I say here I++. Here initially the I value is 0, it should become 1, it should become 2, it should become 3, it should become 4. When I value becomes 5, 5 less than 5 is false, the loop is terminated. What I do here, I use printf statement. We use printf statement to display something, right? Here I say %d /n, comma. I say here numbers of I. Numbers of I indicates the value of numbers of I. Ampersand the numbers of I indicates address of numbers of I. Right guys? Let me explain what happens when this code is executed. I copy this, go to MS Paint and I paste that code here. Let me change the color to black. Okay, let's get started. When control hits to this line, what happens? Printf displays numbers array is and /n moves the cursor to the next line. Then control hits to for loop. First initialization statements are executed. I equal to 0. I is reinitialized back to 0 guys. I is reinitialized back to 0. Then it goes to condition part, checks the condition whether I is less than 5. I is 0, 0 less than 5 is true. As this condition evaluates to true, it executes the body of the for loop. What printf does? It displays the value of numbers of I. What is I? I is 0. It displays the value of numbers of 0. Value of numbers of 0 is 1. It displays 1, guys. And backward slash n moves the cursor to the next line. After executing all the statements in the body of the for loop, control goes to I++. I variable value is incremented by 1. It is 0. It becomes 1, guys. Then it goes to condition part and checks the condition whether I is less than 5. I is 1. 1 less than 5 is true. As this condition evaluates to true, it executes the body of the for loop. Control comes inside. Printf displays the value of numbers of I. What is I? I is 1. It displays value of numbers of 1. Numbers of 1 is 2. It displays 2, guys. And backward slash n moves the cursor to the next line. After executing all the statements in the body of the for loop, control goes to increment or decrement part of the for loop. I++ is executed. I variable value is incremented by 1. It is 1. It becomes 2, guys. Then it goes to condition part, checks the condition whether I is less than 5. I is 2. 2 less than 5 is true. As this condition evaluates to true, it executes the body of the for loop. Control comes inside. Printf displays the value of numbers of I. And what is I? I is 2. I is 2, you can see that. It displays value of numbers of 2. Value of numbers of 2 is 3. It displays 3. Then backward slash n moves the cursor to the next line. After executing all the statements in the body of the for loop, control goes to increment or decrement part. I++ is executed. I variable value is incremented by 1. It is 2. It becomes 3, guys. Then it goes to condition part, checks the condition whether I is less than 5. I is 3. 3 less than 5 is true. As this condition evaluates to true, it executes the body of the for loop again. Control comes inside. Printf displays the value of numbers of I. And what is I? I is 3. Printf displays the value of numbers of 3. Value of numbers of 3 is 4. It displays 4. And backward slash n moves the cursor to the next line. After executing all the statements in the body of the for loop, control goes to increment or decrement part. I++. I value is 3. It is going to be incremented by 1. It becomes 4, guys. Then it goes to condition part, checks the condition whether I is less than 5. I is 4. 4 less than 5 is true. As this condition evaluates to true, it executes the body of the for loop once again. Printf displays the value of numbers of I. I is 4. Printf displays value of numbers of 4. Value of numbers of 4 is 5. It displays 5 and backward slash n moves the cursor to the next line. After executing all the statements in the body of the for loop, control goes to increment or decrement part. I++. I value is incremented by 1. It is 4. It becomes 5. Then it goes to condition part, checks the condition whether I is less than 5. You can see that 5 less than 5 is false. 5 less than 5 is false because 5 is equal to 5. 5 less than 5 is false. As this condition evaluates to false, the loop is terminated and executes any below statements. You can see that we have successfully displayed values inside the numbers array. Let me go to code block and say build and run. You can see that we are getting enter 5 integer values. I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see that it has displayed numbers array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have successfully wrote a C program to read, store and print one-dimensional array, guys. Let me build and run once again. It is telling enter 5 integer values. I say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I hit enter. You can see that it is telling numbers array is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Congratulations, guys. We have successfully wrote a C program to read, store and print one-dimensional array. I hope you guys have clearly understood. I think for this video tutorial, this much is enough, friends. I suggest you people to watch this video again and again, understand everything clearly. Try the code yourself, experiment with more examples. In the upcoming video tutorials, we are going to discuss more about arrays in C programming language. For more benefits and be up to date, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment and share these videos with others so that everyone will get benefited. Keep learning, keep coding, keep sharing. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.